say welcome again to everybody. Thank you for joining us here today for our 2018 United Way of Central Kentucky campaign kickoff. We're grateful that we get to work with such a caring and generous community year after year. It includes so many of you here today. I like to think of today as a celebration because we have such exciting news and milestones to celebrate. We're coming off another record-breaking campaign year where we raised $1.4 million. That money, that's good, isn't it? That money was pledged to programs in our 5-county region. These programs are ensuring that our families, our friends, and our neighbors are able to access resources they wouldn't otherwise be able to. So that's making the most positive impact here, and you made this happen. This is something that you did. Through your generosity, we're helping people achieve financial stability through education programs like Hardin County Skills U, where individuals have the opportunity to work one-on-one with a coach that can help them attain their GED. Through programs like Born Learning, where children are ready to start school when it's time to go to kindergarten. And through programs like the Community Health Clinic, who are there to make sure that those who are falling through the gaps receive the medical attention they need, and that elderly patients can have access to medication that they otherwise wouldn't be able to afford. These are only a few of the programs that are being funded through United Way of Central Kentucky. In total, through your pledged dollars, we are funding 24 agencies over 5 counties with 32 programs in all. This time last year, we presented a vision to face head-on the workforce crisis that's been facing our community. That vision was to implement the Way to Work program. Last year, we stood here and we talked about it, and we brought down Dave Phillips from Cincinnati Works out of Ohio. But what I can tell you today, and what we're really excited about, is that Way to Work is up and running, and last week we took our first clients in. We're going to hear more about Way to Work in just a little bit from Jereza Lamont, but what I think is really important right now to say is that, well, and what I love most about living here is that when there's a call for help, you all answer the call. So here comes the really fun part. I've been with United Way for a little over 6 years, and a lot of times I'm the person that's behind the scenes. I know a lot of folks in the room, and some I don't, but what I want to say is I'm really proud to be standing here in front of you and thankful for the opportunity. Many of you know, back in May, our former CEO, Megan Stith, she's in the middle of the room, so everybody wave hi. She announced that she would be leaving to join ECTC as their Dean of Institutional Advancement. Megan has been a trailblazer and a champion for the needs of our community for 7 years or better. And for 4 of those years, she was our CEO, and she moved us all forward in service to others. So many of you know her. We all respect her for who she is and what she stands for, and I just want to take this moment for all of us to give her a round of applause and thank her. I think we can all agree that her shoes would be tough ones to fill. And so here's where the story gets exciting. Back in June, where Megan handed the torch off to me, is where we also began our search for our new CEO and president. This was a nationwide search, and we had applicants from across the country. The search gave us the opportunity to talk to some really great folks, but we had one person who had the experience and vision to take us into the future, building on the framework that's already in place. This individual comes from a background steeped in volunteerism. Through education-based causes to United Way, this individual served as a standout volunteer. First as a loan executive from Intel Corporation to United Way of Central New Mexico. and eventually as an employee campaign manager, where he led his workmates to raise a staggering $3 million for their workplace campaign. This is only a couple of examples that I think makes him outstanding, but what we're most excited about is that he understands the United Way mission. And he knows firsthand how United Way supports the communities that they serve. He'll be joining our ranks full-time on October 1st, but he's here with us today. And I know you'll find him kind and brilliant and humorous, and I know that you'll welcome him here to our community. So without further ado, all the way from New Mexico is Ron Epps.
Hola, ¿cómo está? Mi llamo es Ron Epps.
Mi llamo es Brad.
And I've just used 2/3 of my Spanish. Before I actually begin, I actually have something for Krista. So just to say thank you for stepping in during the interim time. Over the last couple weeks, she's had to answer emails and phone calls with me on a daily basis, and it's been kind of interesting. Just really quick, I just want to kind of explain or tell you a little bit about my excitement of being here and why I'm excited about the United Way. The United Way, it's really that first word, united. The United Way is not about necessarily the staff or even the organization. It's about the community. It's about the community coming together to work on the issues the communities themselves see and make those better. And really, as an organization, the United Way just facilitates that, just says, hey, how do we get involved? And so really, it's all about you. It's about all of us coming together and saying, hey, this is what we want to do. I'm excited about the Way to Work program here. I actually, Stephen Hawking's one of my heroes. I kind of come from a scientific type background. And one of the things that really impressed me was when he said, hey, here are the 3 things I've told my kids. This is the advice for my children. The first thing he told his children is remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet. Pretty good advice. I'm going to actually skip to number 3 because I'm going to come back to number 2. Number 3 was, if you're lucky enough to find love, remember it is rare and don't throw it away. Hey, you know, I think Krista has said something along the lines that I've been married for 30 years. I would say I always usually say we've been married for 27 wonderful years and 3 years. But number 2, Stephen Hawking says, never give up work. Work gives you meaning and purpose. You know, and when we think about work and we think about the Way to Work program, it's important that we're helping people and raising them to a level of self-sufficiency. And that's an important skill, but another important part of that work is giving people's lives meaning and purpose. And that's why I'm excited to be here. The next thing I have to do, I think, is actually introduce our board chair. John Ballard is the superintendent of the E-Town City Schools. And it's been a great pleasure for me to be working with him over the last couple of weeks. And I actually brought him a gift from New Mexico. John says that he likes spicy foods. We kind of know a little bit about spicy food in New Mexico, so I brought him some salsa. And we'll see. I would recommend that you make sure you have plenty of beverages around while you eat this. So John Ballard.
Like that. Thank you very much, Ron. And I can say, having had the good fortune of being on the hiring committee and getting to know Ron over these last few weeks, I can tell you he's going to be an exceptional addition to our community. So we welcome you, Ron. You know, what an exceptional community we do have. You know, it's been, as superintendent of schools, I get to see the impact that United Way has on our children and many of our families on a daily basis. The way that our kids are impacted and meeting their needs before we could ever meet their educational needs is vital. and the work that you all as United Way, and you all are the United Way, makes a huge difference. When you look at the numbers, and they're in your brochure, okay, things like 2,563 children that have experienced increased adult engagement in their academic and social background at kindergarten and beyond. That's amazing. Staggering numbers like 67,000 plus residents who've received access to their basic needs. Those numbers are staggering, and each of those are made up of ones, right? 67,424 ones. That's my master's degree in math at work right there, but each of those individuals, we've made a difference in their lives, okay? More that can ever be expressed, and it's you all as our community that help make this possible. So I want to say thank you to all of you all as we begin this kickoff season for what you do in each of your workplaces and the way you give, because it truly makes a difference. It makes a difference in the lives of everybody in our community, and that's what makes our community a special place to be. So thank you all very much. At this time, we'd like to recognize those who contributed to the 2017 campaign. So if your business hosted a workplace campaign, or if you donated time or money, we'd like for you to please stand at this time to be recognized. Thank you all very much. And if you didn't this past year, don't worry, there's still a chance this year. As you know, today is our official campaign kickoff, and we need your help to start it out strong. So if you'll look on your tables, you'll see the little table tents there, and that has information on how you can donate even right now. Simply just text "Live to Give" or 313131, and it'll take you to the United Way website to make a donation. So if we see you on your phone, we're going to assume that's what you're doing, right? Okay? But we appreciate that and getting our campaign started off on a good foot. I do have 2 awards, excuse me, to give out to some pretty amazing companies in our community. The United Way team is very thankful for each of you and your businesses that partner with us to help us raise those record-breaking numbers each year. But there are 2 companies that took the success of our campaign this last year to the next level. And the first company is receiving the Live United Award. The recipient of this award exemplifies what it means to live united. They give, they advocate, and they volunteer. The Live United Award recipients fearlessly share the United Way mission and create unity around the vision of a more self-sufficient community and region, affording each associate the opportunity to participate through giving, through advocacy, and through volunteerism. This year's recipient for the Live United Award goes to Metalsa. The next company is receiving the Give United Award. When it comes to this recipient, they're all in. They've always been one of our top company campaigns, but this year they took the #1 spot and set a new record for the highest campaign in our history, raising $200,000. From payroll deduction to special events, a corporate gift, and even incentives to their associates who give, this company knows what it means to give united. This year's Give United Award goes to Altec. So I want to challenge each of you this year to be involved with the United Way. It's more than just a donation. As you know, it's an investment in our community. United Way solves problems. that lower the cost to our community by mobilizing the best resources to find new solutions to old problems. So we hope that together we win by inspiring others to join the fight against our community's most complex challenges and empowering individuals to achieve their fullest potential. So I want to thank you ahead of time for your participation in this year's United Way, and I hope that each of you in your places of employment will help pump up the United Way, get people excited about it, and let them know what a difference they're making in our community. At this time, I'd like to introduce our next speaker, who will give away the Nelson Kelly Volunteer of the Year Award. And this person himself was the 2015 Nelson Kelly Volunteer Year of the Award recipient, and that is Mr. Brian Kerr.
They're passing John salsa around here. So I want to thank Krista. As many of you all know, she does a lot of stuff that is back behind the scenes that people don't see, and to take the challenge and get up and lead the organization until we found Ron and welcome Ron, along with the whole staff of United Way. They do a great job for us, and we're blessed to have them. So I'm here today to present one of the most prestigious awards I think that United Way has. This award was named after a volunteer in our community that did a lot for our community. A lot of you all may know Nelson Kelly. Nelson, back in 2010, asked me to be on a board that he was starting back up. Basically, it had been dormant for about 20 years as an educational foundation board, and he took the bull by the horns and started working really hard to bring that back up. And it's very successful today because of his leadership. And in 2011, he notified us that he had a brain tumor. He had some bad news, but the way Nelson was, it wasn't anything that he let get him down. He said, I'm going to have surgery, but as soon as that's over, I'll be back to work. I'll be ready to go again, and we can get this going. And we said, well, take your time, just relax, but he was ready to go. But unfortunately, on September 30th, 2012, Nelson passed away from his cancer. He served on the board of directors for United Way for many years. As you know, he was an educator in our community. He was a principal in our community. But after he retired, he volunteered in so many different capacities. In the United Way, when we needed a new director, he was the interim for a while until we found one. He was on the CIT committee. He led many strategic initiatives that helped see us through to where we are today. So this award was named after Nelson Kelly. I love the analogy that you can count the number, or you cannot count the number of seeds, or let me get this straight. You can count the number of seeds in an apple, but you can't count, I've got this all screwed. Let me just read it. I love it so much I can't even think what it is. You can count the number of seeds in an apple, but you can't count the number of apples in a seed. And I think this is true about Nelson and how many people he impacted in his life in our community. There's so many of us that today that were touched by him, and some of them that we may not even know. So the Nelson Kelly Volunteer of the Year Award is a recognition that individuals show servant leadership in exemplifying the spirit of volunteerism. This individual is a true shining example for the United Way movement and our call to action to live united. As a volunteer, they are the cornerstone of a stronger community. By going above and beyond, this person created a hope for a better tomorrow for so many in our region. The person that's getting this today, unfortunately, can't be with us because they had an unforeseen illness in their family this morning, so they're not here. But I'm honored to be able to present the 2018 Nelson Kelly Award to a good friend of mine. This person has served on the community investment team. They served as the chair of the community investment team. They served as a board chair. They went off the board, and now they're coming back on the board for another term. They logged over 100 hours this past year. They were part of hiring Ron and on the committee for that, and just overall has a heart for United Way, and it's seen through his actions. So it's my privilege to honor and recognize the 2018 Nelson Kelly Volunteer of the Year Award to Scott Conway. And Dustin Hayes, if you'll come up and accept that. And now to hear more about the Way to Work program, which is the latest thing at United Way that we're doing, Jerissa Lamons.
Good afternoon, Chamber member and friends. Good afternoon. Thank you. I am excited to be here with you today, and thank you, Brian, for the introduction. I'm excited for two reasons. First, today's my birthday. And second, I feel excited to announce something that I consider to be a gift not only to myself, but also to this community. Way to work. If you'll rewind with me, back this time last year in 2017, Dave Phillips visited this entire group and spoke to you about a program that could provide solutions to the crumbling workforce in our local community. It's no longer a vision. It is now reality. Way to Work began operations in September of 2008 and will begin their first job training in October 1st. We're excited to be a problem solver, an answer to a solution to, Brian, gosh, you got me stuttering up here now. It's a problem solver, an answer to an issue that plagues our local community. Currently, 35% of able-bodied adults are not working in this community. Why? Because they face many barriers that some of us do not face. Mental health issues, familial issues, financial literacy, and education and low skills. Way to Work is the answer to that call. Way to Work, yes, is a successful replication of Cincinnati Works, which Dave Phillips came and spoke to us about. But Way to Work will not be successful without the help of each of you in this room today. So that's another reason why I'm excited to be here. I implore you, I encourage each of you all that have businesses and you are in HR, come and partner with us. Help us to help the declining workforce that affects our whole community. Got my little note cards. Without the support of you all, companies such as Altec, Fishbach, they've already committed to being a part of Way to Work. It is my hope that others will follow their lead. It's up to us, all of us, to reshape the workforce. My grandmother used to say, God rest her soul, are you a part of the problem? Or are you a part of the solution? Today, I encourage each of you all to be a small part of the solution. If you are interested in partnering with us for Way to Work, please, you can see me, any of these fine folks sitting at this table. We will get you all the information that you need to be able to partner with us. But again, we need our business and industry engaged with Way to Work in order for this to be successful. Today, I also would like to, I think no campaign is successful without a great campaign chair. And this year, we've really had a good campaign chair. Chad Sarver has served as our campaign chair this year. I'm not going to mention things that he does with a purse. If you were there at Power of the Purse and you saw that. But today, I'd like to introduce him via video, and then we'll follow up with the campaign video as well. That's all I have to say. But really, in closing, for my birthday, get your phones out, give to United Way. I want to see you on your phones for this one time in a meeting. Second of all, if you are a business or an industry, we're not asking you to lower your expectations for your candidates that you will accept for employment. We want to work with those candidates to shape them into successful workers, successful employees. Like I said, it takes all of us to make this successful. So again, sorry I got back on a tangent, but I'm really passionate about workforce. So I'm going to present to you the campaign chair, Chad Sarver. Thank you for your time.
Hello, community. My name is Chad Sarver, and I have the privilege of being the campaign chair and a board member for United Way of Central Kentucky. I want to personally thank each one of you for attending the United Way Kickoff Luncheon today. Last year's success was due to your leadership and giving nature, and for you and for each one of your associates. I have to say, the success, it's much better seen in the faces of the individuals that you touch with your giving and your time, just like Linda in the video. We live in a very blessed society with all the necessary amenities just at our fingertips. Not only are we blessed, we're a blessing to others. It takes you to make up a community that helps its members. It takes you to be a community that prepares its members for success. It takes you to be a nurturing society that prepares our children for their education. You know, United Way, its function in our community is to play a liaison role to allow you and the teams the opportunities to give. Now, as leaders, we have associates all around us looking for us to set the example, to build the culture, to show our vision for a better tomorrow. Now, in a moment, you're going to be given the opportunity to invest in our future through the wonderful support and focus afforded to you through United Way of Central Kentucky. Several of you will be hosting campaigns at your facilities and locations in the very near future. And my hope is that each are individually successful for you. Some of you may not have campaigns at your businesses, and this might be the opportunity today for you to make that decision to be an impact player in our community. Each of those are cherished events for us to, as leaders, to make an impact. And please take the opportunity seriously, because the need is serious and it's real. I have this motto that I try to live by, and it says this: you'll never be as bad as you once were as long as you continue to strive to be as good as you can be. I want to thank you. Thank you for who you are. Thank you for what you do in the community. And I especially want to thank you for supporting United Way. Have a blessed day.
I pay my bills on the phone, because I didn't want to go out in public with no teeth. I was too embarrassed. I'd wait till the dark, take my garbage out, or get my mail. I didn't want to go out.
We didn't live a very good life. You know, we did things that you just don't want to even, imagine the lifestyle. So, and then Macy come along, which made me realize that it's time to straighten up a little bit. Miss Debbie, she was kind of helping me stay positive and be like, okay, you can get a job. And, I met with her twice a week. Yeah, I just kind of took it and run with it. Miss Debbie still kind of worked with me. She helped me kind of budget my money, and which I still do that now. I have money saved up and money put up, and I never thought in a million years that I would be as far as I am now in 2018 as I was in 2016, because I've come a long way.
Before I got my GED, I was bouncing from job to job. I wanted to set some roots somewhere, and I knew that that wasn't going to happen until I established my GED. If it wasn't for United Way, none of this would be possible.
I lost my husband, cancer, 2 years ago. And our finances just dropped down to nothing. Started having some teeth problems. I didn't know what to do. I woke up one morning, my face was swelled out. It was going down my throat. I didn't have much of a life after he passed away. And then my teeth, I just hibernated. So I contacted the community center. They got me the prescriptions I needed for antibiotics, and got a dentist with, just within about a week. Just as soon as I got my antibiotics taken, they got them out for me. And I didn't have any more pain, thank goodness. And then they worked with me to get my dentures.
My name is Avis Snyder. I am with Hardin County Schools First Connections program. If we are able to be there to help a family in whatever they may need, then we are helping not only just the adults in that family, but we are helping the children in that family. And if we can get those children set up for success, they will be successful as they grow.
And I don't believe I'm ever going to go back to that part of my life, because I've seen the person I've become, and I've seen the person I can be, and I can be a better parent for my kids, and I can be there for them. I believe I've been given a second chance, and I will take it and I'm going to run with it. But I've met amazing people along the way, especially Miss Debbie at Helping Hand to Hope. She's amazing.
To me, a lot of people, they don't have structure, they don't have a positive influence. So if you put them with a bunch of negative people, the wrong people are going to mold those minds, and those minds could be brilliant, could be bright. And if you put it with no light, then you're going to mold that mind to negativity. And United Way is that light. That it was that light for me. I didn't have it, or say, when I was younger, But, you know, just in the short time that United Way has touched my life, it's been a tremendous blessing.
Yes, but Miss Debbie, she's like my rock. And I stopped and seen her yesterday, actually. I did, I had to see her. And she said, I just love when you come in here, you make me so happy. And I do, like, I can actually hug her and know that she was actually genuinely there to give me the support I needed, because I don't care what you're going through, sometimes you just need that person to say, hey, you got this, you can do it.
Anything that I can do to help them, because they help me so much. And all through everyone's donations and time, volunteer. It's just a blessing to me. It's a blessing. And I know it's a blessing to them too.
What's in a moment? Your ability to help a parent become their child's first teacher, to become a tutor, helping a student struggling to pass their GED, to coach and guide someone out of poverty and into a sustainable career, or to volunteer for the betterment of your community and for all those who call it home. Together, united, we can make the most of every moment. All we need is you.
I don't think we can have any better advocates than those folks you saw in the video, people whose lives your pledged money has touched firsthand. So just a quick note before I introduce our last guest. If you filled out a pledge form, I'll have some United Way folks stationed at both exits. You can hand that over to them. Also, if you're doing the text to give option, you're going through a secure website, and that could be a one-time donation or an ongoing donation. So whatever your gift is, whether it's through your time, through your money, through your voice, we welcome it. And so I'm going to introduce a longtime supporter of United Way, and I won't make a bigger introduction. I think most of you know her. It's Miss Marilyn Ford.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am very conscious of the time, and I assure you that I will not take more than 5 minutes, so I ask that you bear with me for a very good cause. It's that time of year when we put a tagline on what we're doing today. It's our combined efforts to address the needs in our region. And the needs in our communities range from kids that don't have enough food when they aren't in school, to lack of basic needs, such as shelter and utilities, medicine, health care, and neglected and abused children, and so many more needs. Time doesn't permit me to articulate even those needs that I'm aware of. The theme for the day is Live United. Since its inception, United Way of Central Kentucky has had a very special place in my heart. Having served both on the board and as the campaign chair, I have seen firsthand the needs in this region and how United Way has helped meet those needs. There is absolutely nothing more indicative of a strong community than its residents and businesses, organizations, and its elected officials all banding together for a common cause. I'm so grateful to live and work in a community that displays tremendous generosity and unity to make our little corner of the world a much better place. I look around this room and I see a lot of familiar faces. I see friends, I see coworkers, I see leaders, I see elected officials, business owners, and yes, more than a few of my friendly banking competitors. And you know, I'm so grateful that each one of you are here. And I want to say thank you. This is the time of year and the type of cause when labels that can separate us come off and we work together as neighbors for a common good. I'm so appreciative of the blessing of being surrounded by people that know the importance of generosity and service above self. I think that we recognize that when we help others, better themselves or their situation in some fashion, we too become better. As a community, we become exponentially better. Each of us here today is rich from the perspective of the rest of the world. You may not think that, but travel to a third world country and you'll soon realize how rich we are. Permit me to share just a couple of my very favorite, albeit familiar quotes with you. Winston Churchill said, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." Helen Keller said, "Alone we can do very little. Together we can do so much." To continue along the lines of giving, let's reflect for just a moment on the many ways that we, whether individually or as businesses or as an organization, can help our region. First, if you're a business, conduct an internal campaign, an employee campaign. It is easy. We've done it for years. United Way will provide you with assistance to make it successful. They'll work with you. The email things just don't work. They need human connection to understand the greater cause for what we are actually trying to do. So I would encourage you to do that. It is a way to bring our team together for a great cause. You'll not only support the cause, you will reap internal benefits in your company, such as team building, improving your reputation as being a caring employer, and help build your company reputation as being a caring business. Second, in addition to an employee campaign, make a corporate gift to United Way. And thirdly, volunteer some time with United Way or one of the many wonderful partner agencies. Serve on a board, a committee, set aside a time of service, whether it be packing a backpack with food, helping file documents in an agency, delivering boxes of food to those in need, or one of dozens and dozens of other very worthy service opportunities. If you're an employer, encourage and then permit your employees to serve. Organize a company service project and give back as a group. The benefits and blessings that you receive from this type of volunteerism is always more than what you give. In an effort to demonstrate putting these words into action, it's my honor to ask Trina Floyd, the 2019 incoming United Way Board Chair, to join me. And she is now one of my new coworkers, Trina. As most of you already know, United Bank is joining the West Banco team. Our banks have very many things in common. One of the most important of these things is a commitment to communities. And those are the communities that we serve and live in. Going forward as the city president of the Heartland District of West Banco, it is my privilege to represent our combined team, and we're at separate tables. We're going to have to do something about that. We all need to be sitting together later, but if you all would just sort of wait. We've got a large team representing our total group here today. Thank you all for being here and for all that you do. We would like to present today a corporate gift to United Way of Central Kentucky, and Trina, turn it around, $25,000. Thank you. In addition to that corporate gift, we will be running an internal campaign with our combined team. And we will continue to encourage our staff to volunteer with United Way and the many partner agencies, just as Trina is doing, and so many of our others are as well. And I know many of you all are also doing that. I'd like to challenge you, if you are a business, a manager, a leader in your company, join with us, your other business community, by conducting an internal campaign. Make a corporate gift and volunteering as we work together to make our community a better place. We truly are better when we live united. I want to thank you so much for your time, your patience, And I want to just say, God bless you in this community.